All right, guys, welcome. In this video, we're going to go through some frequently asked questions that you guys have about the knuckleball, about my program and pitching in general. And feel free to comment below and ask other questions, and we'll cover them in future episodes. So, first question I get all the time is how quickly can a player expect to throw a game-ready knuckleball? And so, I've answered this before, but just to kind of go over it in a little bit more detail in a video, what I've seen is that I've had some guys that have an aptitude for it that in 2 to 4 weeks they're able to throw it, because really what they need is guideline with trying different grips, and then I'm able to watch them throw it, give them a few pointers of the spin. It looks like this, try that, try going a little bit further, and just it's professional guidance that they wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. And then it's pretty good and good enough to throw in games within a short period of time. And so that's definitely happened. But remember, that's throwing it in games. That's not necessarily true mastery, which, hopefully we'll have guys that are getting that, because these are young kids, a lot of them, that are going to be pitching. Hopefully they'll master, get into the big leagues. As far as the average, I've seen the longest is like about 6 months. But that's usually kids, they're not spending as much time with it. Guys that spend a good amount of time are closer to the 3 months. And think of it like if you were to say, how long does it take to learn a changeup to throw it in games? Well, you could throw a bad changeup your first game, right? Same with a knuckleball. But for your changeup to be decent, how long would it take? Usually a couple months, and you need the training. You need to know how to do it. But what happens if you absolutely master the changeup? It's going to be like an unhittable pitch. Same with the knuckleball, except for times 1,000, because there's no such thing as someone who throws all changeups. You'd be able to hit that. You know it's coming. It's not moving that much. It's moving the same way every time. But there is such a thing as someone that can throw all knuckleballs and pitch at the highest level. So 3 to 6 months is a general guideline, but we've had 2 to 4 weeks with guys that show just natural aptitude for it, and that's even with guys that have never thrown it before. What about a guy that throws it playing catch pretty decently, joins the program? Then we're basically getting him game ready, and then same, about a month. And then we could be like a lethal weapon in 3 months. And so this is life-changing stuff, honestly. And so if you ever wonder why is Coach Joe always, posting, because if you had the cure for cancer, wouldn't you be trying to reach people, right? You're like, I found something that's like helping people. That's what I'm doing, because I've seen it work so many times so successfully. It's kind of like crazy when people, I get kid after kid DMing me like, Coach, my arm's blown out, my arm hurts every single time, I don't have enough velocity, what do I do? Well, I can help you. Okay, but I think about it like this too. I have kids, they'll DM me and they're like, can you teach me the knuckleball? And I'm like, yes, I have a program built out where you're going to learn the knuckleball in a couple of months and be able to throw it in games. And then seriously, this is what happens. They're like, well, can't you just text it to me how to throw it? And I'm like, I'm making videos and I'm doing everything I can, but I have to have the program so that we can actually get the result, because we need training over time, day by day, and then for me to be able to coach you through it. So that's kind of been a frustrating part, because I want to help people, but they just want a text wall of this is how you throw it, even though I'm making free videos for you guys. But that's where people are. They don't necessarily want to do a full program because maybe they don't trust me enough or whatever, which is fine. So what I am planning on doing is writing and releasing an ebook. So if you see on my Instagram, I'm having a lot of questions. This is currently as I'm doing this, so by the time you see it, maybe this will be off my Instagram. It's on my stories right now. Questions about what should the book cover, what some titles be, chapter titles and book title. I was even asking people what they would want to learn the knuckleball, and a lot of people said the book, so that's why we're getting this idea. And so the idea would be that you get the book and then you're able to learn the basics and you're able to kind of work out on your own. But I'm just being honest, if you really want to learn it, we can get you that in a couple of months, and you'll go from zero to throwing a knuckleball, because you need to have the professional guidance of me seeing your knuckleball in slow motion, being able to guide you. Okay, this is where you're at, try this. 2 days later, this is now where you're at, try this, iteratively going over it and developing it, and then you have a knuckleball. And it's as simple as that. But I get it. You know, you don't, a lot of you guys all around the world watching this, you don't trust me. You don't know me yet. So that's why I'm trying to do all of this stuff to show you that it works. And so I'm going to get this book out, you know, hopefully soon, and it'll definitely help you guys. Another question is, how's the knuckleball safer on the arm? Well, the biggest key to think about is the injuries occur because you're at that max 100% effort every single pitch. And so you didn't see as many injuries, 20 years ago, because pitchers were always taught, throw 95%, hit your spots, focus on good mechanics, change of speed, location, all that stuff. And not everyone was throwing a knuckleball. Most guys still weren't, but they weren't getting injured near as much. And so it's that max effort. But what's happened in the game today is they've realized, well, if I can get, a bunch of people throwing max effort for a couple of innings, that's going to help me win my games better than having one good pitcher just hit his spots for 9 innings. And so what's happened with the game is that pitchers are basically, it's just a meat market. Everyone's getting injured, but that doesn't matter for the team. They're not incentivized to care. So they've been talking about making rule changes so that teams are incentivized to care. But you as a parent or as a player should definitely be incentivized to care. So get where the game is going. Okay, they're not incentivized to care about you. They just want to get you to give them one good inning because it's a meat market. Arm after arm is coming up because all anybody's doing is just throwing max effort as hard as they can, ripping sliders, sweepers, curves as hard as they can. Arm blows out, next guy. So if you want to be a part of that, then, most guys will. Most guys are not going to think for themselves and try to figure out, okay, what's best for my career, okay? They just, because they don't really want to think that it's okay, this is what coach told me to do. My 12-year-old coach said, just go out there, rip 150 pitches this weekend as hard as I can. We want a ring. Okay, good. Now your arm hurts. He recruited 3 more pitchers that want to be on his championship team. He doesn't care about you. That's how it is at 9U, 12U, high school, college, every single level. It's always going to be the same. They don't care. So what is my incentive? My incentive is to teach you the knuckleball and for you to have a long career because that's what I've created, what I'm doing. My business is designed for that. So I'm aligned, okay? Velocity program, not aligned because that'll get you 5 miles an hour in 3 months, your arm's blown out. They already have your money. They don't care. I mean, this is just reality. And so I'm telling you because the logic is so foolproof. Think about it for yourself and then tell me if that's not true. What equipment or space do I need at home to participate in the Knuckleball Academy? You can see a lot of my videos. Guys are throwing it against a wall, throwing it against a net, throwing it to a partner, little brother, dad, whatever. And then you just need your phone to be able to record video. I don't have any special equipment at all. So really nothing, as long as you have a place to throw it. If you're playing catch already, then that's enough. And if you have a phone, which you're DMing me with or watching my YouTube video, that's all you need. Will a knuckleball hurt my fastball or other pitches, or can actually improve my entire arsenal? That's a really good question. We get that quite a bit as well. So the prevailing thinking, prior to this renaissance with the knuckleball was that you had to become a full knuckleball pitcher to throw the knuckleball. And so that's why a lot of guys didn't do it because, you had examples of like a Charlie Huff or a Tim Wakefield or a Phil Niekro, and those are guys that are absolute maestros with the knuckleball, as good as you can possibly get. They got so good they don't even need anything else. They're throwing 100% knuckleballs. And so people thought incorrectly that, okay, I sell out for the knuckleball, I throw 100% knuckleballs, or I'm a conventional pitcher. But why? It's just a wrong belief, okay? In the same way, baseball has a lot of wrong beliefs, right? Everyone taught me as a kid, as a hitter, swing down on the ball, hit all ground balls. And then you're like, wait, why does that make sense? It doesn't, okay? And then I get older, everyone's talking launch angle, put it in the air. So the idea that baseball teaches something wrong or is wrong about something is just common, and that's every industry. It's not just criticizing baseball. That's just how the world is. People have wrong beliefs. There's trends that are crazy. In baseball, like most things, a copycat sport. You don't want to be the contrarian, okay? I don't care because I've coached and dominated like crazy, so I know what I'm talking about. And apparently, people are tired of the velo thing, and so a lot of people are interested in this type of stuff. So I don't care to be the contrarian, because I believe we're at the rebirth of something. So I will lead this movement. It's a pretty incredible thing, honestly. So the belief now, you're seeing it with guys coming up, is that, oh, you just learn the knuckleball and you integrate it into your arsenal. So you have a pitch that creates a 75-mile-an-hour fastball into being unhittable when you add the knuckleball, like a Tim Wakefield. So why not just throw it? Okay, now I'm a pitcher. I throw 85 to 95. I add a knuckleball. All of a sudden, my fastball is better. Nobody thought of that. Think about that. It's crazy, but it's true. And now you're seeing guys doing it. Matt Waldron, Kenny Sirwalk coming up in Double A with the Tigers, Corey Lewis in Triple A with the Twins right now. A lot of guys in my academy learning it coming up. It's going to be a new thing, but just nobody thought of it. And so it's baseball's a copycat sport. So you'll see more and more people learning the knuckleball, adding it to their arsenal, and they're going to be good pitchers, not necessarily just guys throwing 75 miles an hour. You're going to see pitchers throwing 95 and adding a knuckleball, and the game's going to get tougher. So start now and become amazing at it, and then you can be a guy throwing 80 miles an hour with an insane knuckleball and pitching the big leagues. But if your knuckleball is just average, not that good, spins a lot, still going to enhance your arsenal, it's going to be great, and then maybe you'll need to throw 90 to play, major leagues. But that's better than having to throw 97 the way the game is. And so, but yeah, it's not going to affect your other pitches. In fact, it's going to make them better, because you're going to have to learn perfect mechanics, kind of like Greg Maddux, where you're going to be hitting your spots with your fastball every single time. Your knuckleballs has to be so precise. Your mechanics have to be great. And actually, guys in my academy have said that their fastball velocity has actually increased when we don't even talk about velocity, because they have to get better at their mechanics. And that makes common sense. And furthermore, you can't make some of this stuff up, okay? But you look at these velocity programs, they would be teaching, okay, no, at a young age, you got to do every throw max effort, because you have to train your body to move fast. Okay, if you're 9 and you train every throw max effort to throw as hard as you can, you probably have a chance of throwing harder than another 9-year-old who's throwing just good mechanics, learning to hit his spots. Okay, you throw 55, he throws 50 at 9. Oh my gosh, let's give this program $1 million. They solved all of our issues. Fast forward a couple years, this guy has 10 Tommy John surgeries, blows out his shoulder, and surgery after surgery. That doesn't get brought up, but that's actually what happened. That's why we're having this backlash, because it took a while for people to see, even though wouldn't that be common sense when you're 9, your tendons and ligaments aren't as developed, but people didn't think about that, because when you're 9, you can throw max effort and probably not blow your arm out right away. It might take years for it to happen. But if you're 9 and you just learn good mechanics, hit your spots, learn a knuckleball, stuff like that, you're not pitching, you're taking time off. So you pitch some tournaments, take some time off while you just develop, you'll end up throwing way harder, because you won't deal with all of the injuries. So again, this is stuff that I'm not think about this logically, because this is just such common sense and so logically foolproof that I want intelligent, rational actors to think about it. And it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. We should be approaching it in a different way. And again, it doesn't mean your travel ball coach is evil. He's incentivized to win the tournament tomorrow so that he keeps his job, okay? You got, if I'm a velocity coach, I'm going to have 17-year-olds coming to me in tears because they need to throw 5 miles an hour harder so they can go to their showcase and get noticed, and they'll do anything. They'll give, here's 10 grand, give me 5 miles an hour, and you could probably do it. So is a velocity coach going to turn that down? And that's how those businesses get built. It doesn't mean they're evil, right? If you're 17 and that's the decision you want to make, then just know the risks, okay? Especially you guys are 25 trying to make those decisions. Know the risks, but there are risks. I would say instead of risking your arm, just learn a knuckleball, which is going to be more effective than gaining a couple of miles an hour that was not even natural and might blow your arm out. Knuckleball be more effective. But again, it's know the risk. Some people can't throw the knuckleball that well, and it might take them a long time. They don't even have 3 months. They have a couple of months. Give me the miles an hour now, okay? So there's A time and a place for some people, okay, but certainly not if you're like, I would say 16 and under. Absolutely not. Especially kids. If you're thinking about velocity, that's crazy. Um, okay, another thing in my program, how does it work? Video analysis, Zoom calls, we're going over, and then it's iteratively over time. This is something that's been refined so that it works, okay? If we have just online modules, which I have a lot of online modules you go through, what we found is every kid's different. You'll make a lot of progress, you'll learn a lot. We actually do sell the modules if people just want that separately. That's possible, but you're not going to get nearly, you're going to be 1/10 of the value of the full course where we're able to watch a video. We can watch a video sometimes, see something, help a kid in one video, send him off. 2 weeks later, I see him, his knuckleball's 10 times better. That happens all the time. And you guys see all the testimonials, you see all the videos of guys, they start here with the knuckleball. 2 months later or a month later, they're here with it, okay? And a lot of times it's one or two video analysis able to help them out, get them on the right track, because then they have all the modules, they're able to know the training and what to do. So this is the way it works. It's been helping guys all over the world. We get a ton of questions about the knuckleball, but we're doing more and more of these podcast type things, question and answer type things. I sometimes have my friend Clay on these. We've been coaching for so many years. We've coached travel ball as well, so we know, we've been in the trenches. We know exactly how all of this works, not just from a training standpoint, but from the travel ball standpoint of what parents are going through, what kids are going through in the heat of the moment in those big games, and we know how to help people. And so that's why, one of the reasons we're having so much success with all of this is not just kind of like, like, oh, I finished playing baseball and now I'm coaching, but I don't know what you guys are going through. I know exactly what you guys are going through, and that's why we're trying to help. So let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.